Okay, I'm high. So in this video, I will be showing you how to get motion blur that looks like this.
Easy.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
just have to hold the
yeah.
angles. They're so aggressive.
Okay.
Be right there, but I'm gonna take TP there.
Actually, one Vandal. Here.
It's like they kind of.
Get out of my way!
Yours on me. Hey,
Bruh.
look. I fucking called it.
Off tower.
So before we get started with this method I'm going to show you today, I will have to mention one thing in that this method is pretty taxing on your PC because of the rendering that you're going to have to do. You can still do it on a medium end PC, but it's going to be more taxing on your CPU and GPU, so make sure you have a decent enough PC or else your PC might just like blow up. So anyways, without further ado, I'm going to do a few things. First off, you're going to need a clip, and I actually have this clip right here. We're going to be using this clip here. We're just going to be using this clip here. And you can see how it doesn't look super smooth, like there's a lot of these like sort of roughed edges here, and we're going to try and fix that. So this is in 60 FPS, and before you add motion blur, what you have to do is you have to increase the FPS. And so that's where our first program, FlowFrame, is going to come in. So you're going to first navigate to this website here to download FlowFrames. This will be in the description down below. And you're going to hit download now up here. And this pops up here. This is just like a tip. You don't have to do this. Just hit no thanks. Just take me to the downloads. And you can just download from here. You just click download and it'll download this here. I made a folder in my hard drive for FPS convert tools here, and I just installed it here. And I'm not going to install it again because I already have it installed. So you're going to install it, and you should have, you want to click on this file here, setup.exe, and then run it as an administrator, and then go through all the setup wizard setting things that I want you to do. And if it says that this file can be run because it's an unknown file, just hit yes. This video or this program is not a virus. I've tested it myself since I have it installed on my computer. It just says that because it's from an unknown source. But once you have that installed, all you want to do is click on, you don't have to worry about any of these other things. All you need to do is you want to run flowframes.exe and run it as an admin. Just like this, and you should be greeted with this screen right here. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to Interpolation, and this is where you're going to set up all of your details for the motion blur. So what you want to do is you want to start off by you want to change your Interpolation AI, and for this you'll have to set it the first time you do this, but you just want to use this one right here, Rife CUDA PyTorch implementation of Rife, NVIDIA only, if you have an NVIDIA card. And that's what I would recommend because it works best, especially with that NVIDIA chip. And next up, you're going to put in your input. So you're going to hit Browse Folder, and then you're going to go, or actually browse Video, and then you're going to find that clip here, which is right here. I put it in the same folder. You're going to click Open, and that'll put the file location here, and then your output in that same folder. And now what you want to do is you want to go to your output, FPS, and speed. And the clip right now is in 60 frames. I can show you. It says right here, somewhere over here, 60 frames per second right there. And what you want to do is you want to increase the FPS so that you can add motion blur. Because on 60 FPS, it won't work and it'll look really laggy. So for what I would recommend is you want to do, click this drop down and you want to click times 4x, and that'll just quadruple the amount of frames. So instead of 60 FPS times 4, 60 times 4 will be 240 FPS, and that will be what you have at the end. If you're going for something a little bit lower, if you don't want this to take a long time, because it does take quite a little bit of time, especially if you're rendering something really big, I would go with X30. X2 just really isn't worth it. But I'm going to do 240 FPS for this, and you don't have to necessarily any of this other stuff, normal speed here. AI model, you want to just turn it on the latest here, which is currently RAV 3.9 as of the time I'm recording this. And output mode, you can use any one of these. I would recommend MKV or MP4. I'm just gonna stick on MP4, and you don't have to mess around with anything really here. H264, you can turn this to NVENC if you want, because it will work a little bit faster, but I'm just gonna stick with H264, which is my CPU. So from there, check all this stuff, the size, make sure all this is right. This is the only thing you really need to change after your first interpolation. And once it says status ready here, all you want to do is click interpolate. And from here, it's going to start rendering out all the frames, and it'll convert from 60 FPS to 240 FPS. And this will take quite a bit of time, so just be patient. And especially if you're doing something really big, it can take up to a few hours maybe just to convert it. I did that with one of my videos, and it took about 6 hours because I had to render overnight. But just let this run for a little bit, and we'll be back after this is finished interpolating. Alright, so we are back, and as you can see, the status has been done interpolating. This took 9 minutes. This is a 30-second clip. And if I go over to here now, you can see there's a new file here with the AI number at the end. You see it says 240 here now. So this is the new clip, and I mean, it still looks a little bit choppy, but this is in 240 FPS. So now we are going to add the motion blur. And for that, we are going to hop into Davinci Resolve. Okay, now that we are in Davinci Resolve, we're going to go to Edit, we're going to go to File, and we're going to click Project Settings, and we're going to change the timeline frame rate to 60 FPS, save, and then we're going to go to our clip, the 240 FPS one, and we're going to drag into the media pool, and then we can drag that onto our timeline, just like this. And now from here, this is still in 240 FPS, but it'll just play back in 60 FPS. And here's what we're going to do now to add our motion blur. So what we're going to do is we're going to highlight the clip and the audio. And you can also do this by going to the search bar, and you can type an adjustment clip and just put that above your video, or the video you want to edit or add the motion blur to. And we're going to drag it so it's as long as the video. And then from here, we're going to select that adjustment clip, and we're going to go over to the Fusion tab. And now the Fusion tab is pretty, it looks pretty complicated for everyone. I think it's still pretty complicated, but this is really easy. So what you're going to do from here is you have a media in and media out, and you're going to click Shift and then space, and then you're going to search up a vector motion blur, just like right here. And we're going to put that on our timeline here. And then that's all you want to do. And then from here, you want to then hit shift space again. And you're going to search up optical flow, just like this. Click add. And you want to put your optical flow before your vector motion blur. So you want to, if it's afterwards, like you just detach here, detach on this side, detach where the triangle is, move it over here, detach, and then you just attach, and attach here. It's like this. So you want to have optical flow and then motion blur. And that's basically it. Now if you play back, you'll see that your frame rate is going to be really bad, and that just happens in playback. And once you render out, it should be pretty smooth. So now all we have this here, and now we're just gonna go over to deliver, and I'll just name this motion blur test video. And we can put that wherever you want. We'll just click browse, and we'll put that here, I guess, just like that. And you don't really have to mess around with any of this stuff. If you have a different resolution, of course you can change that if you're recording in 4K or 1440p. But all this stuff you don't really need to change. Click add to render queue, and it'll appear over here. All you have to do is hit render all, and give it a little bit of time to render. It will render in chunks normally, and it'll take a little bit, so I'll give this some time to render, and then we can take a look at the final results. Okay, now that the video has finished rendering here, it took 7 minutes to render it out, the motion blur, and now we can take a look at the final video, and yeah, here it is.